my take on human nature. I am not the biggest fan of the human race. I've got to be honest. I'm just not. And this, of course, includes myself. Me being a part of the human race, of course. But I don't know. People. The concept of people on paper is good. People in doses is good. But I mean, you get that saying, nobody's perfect. And of course, I'll be the first person to say I'm definitely not perfect. But some people take that nobody's perfect saying as this sort of, well, you gotta kind of pretend that my shit doesn't stink because I'm perfect. Like, that's just kind of, because I'm not perfect. That's kind of been how I've, how it's been delivered to me by certain people. It's like an excuse, and I mean, it's also implied in a lot of situations, and I mean, I'm not the kind of person to hold what somebody does against them unless they, really, really wrong me. But, there just comes a point where I get, tired of the same old, bullshit that creeps in certain situations with people. Well, me in particular, I know when I'm being lied to. And I know when somebody, for example, is trying to save face because, they might have, been quick to fall for something, and this is an example, but anyway, they might have been quick to fall for something, and maybe me or a few other people weren't, and because they were quick to fall for that thing, they gotta kind of try to lie to drag you into that thing in order to kind of bring you at the level they feel they're at, and it sucks because from my perspective, they aren't even at a level until I see that kind of behavior. And them reflecting that they're in that level almost manifests that level. And it makes it more of a reality. And there's just a little tiny, glimpse of human nature that just kind of makes you want to stay away from people, Because, what do you do in a situation like that when you observe these things? You can't really say. And this is a part of my human nature that I don't like, my reading into things, my not being able to help, what it is I read when I read into things, and things are like spaghetti intertwined in a fork with the human race, like a fork attached to a motor doing zigzags, going through a haystack's worth of spaghetti. It's such a mess, and those type of situations stress me out. My mind races, and I just want to go someplace where I can, calm down and kind of find peace. People don't bring me peace. Everybody goes out of their way to talk about love and stuff like that, and I've definitely experienced love, but the best kind of love that I've experienced is the love that I didn't expect. The love that they shove down your throat is not really a peace of mind kind of love. The Hollywood love, not only is it, in my opinion, complete BS, but there's a lot of lies that one has to tell themselves, and that people have to tell each other to kind of make it work. And I hate to burst any bubbles or to, yuck anybody's yum here. Because if your thing's working out for you, then more power to you a millionfold. But yeah, in the typical love situation, it just doesn't work for me. There's so much superficial stuff. There's so much, having to save face. There's so much lying and, having to do things you don't really want to do. because you don't want to hurt the other person, but in reality, it's like you have to lie to yourself, to your soul, if there is such a thing, and play a role. You know, like, sometimes it'll be genuine and beautiful, and then other times it's a performance that you feel compelled to play, just hoping that maybe you'll get a little tiny splash of those moments where you two are just being yourself and you actually like the connection and stuff. And, you know, friendships, I've always felt that I've had to play a role, you know, like, there'll be times where somebody will say something and I'll be completely and totally annoyed by what it is they're saying. And once again, I don't want to, you know, hurt anybody's feelings. I'm definitely not going to talk about it, but it's like I don't like sitting in that situation annoyed as hell and feeling kind of trapped, like I can't get out. Like I have to play a role. And, you know, I mean, when I connect with somebody spiritually, like, you know, I care about what the other person has to say, so, you know, I love hearing what they have to say, you know, and I love it when they love to hear what I have to say, and of course I, you know, can't stand role playing, so I wouldn't want somebody to play a role for me if they, you know, didn't want to hear what I have to say or whatever, but, you know, like, I don't know, like, it just, with people, it just seems like, you know, heaven is like right in front of you, but there's so many things that pull it away from you when you're reaching for it. And that just seems to be how it is. It's like, and, you know, sometimes you'll get the most beautiful splashes of heaven, and they're right there, and you just, you know, you're whole. And then life comes in, and humanity comes in, because, oh my god, the world loves to get in your way. Like, the world gets in my way in ways that just cuts to my core, you know? Like, life just knows exactly when to kick in the nuts and make you, you know, press both knees together and fall on the ground, you know? Try not to cry. But yeah, it just, I don't know, you know? And then, you know, here's the other element of human nature I can't stand, is this whole phobia of feeling something. You know, because you always get those jackasses like, oh, boy, you gonna cry, blah, blah, blah. Like, that's why I made Self-Inflicted. I was making a parody of that retarded perspective, that, you know, that, oh, you know, that pussy's feeling something. Oh, it's like, you know, I just feel that kind of callous behavior is just, I mean, to me, it's a handicap. When you refuse to feel, you're basically screwing yourself over later on in life. Maybe even at the moment, you know, in your present, you know, day. I mean, it just, you have to feel. You can't escape feeling. You're not above feeling. I don't care if you're more of a reptile than a mammal. You feel. And to make fun of somebody because they feel is fucking stupid. You have the same inner child within you that the person who shows theirs has. And that person who shows their inner child to you, who shows that they're hurting, who shows that they're in pain, whether they can help it or not, is 10 times fucking stronger than you are. 10 times fucking stronger. Because they actually have the courage to be themselves, whether it's an impulse or intention. And it just, you know, seeing people who try to suppress emotion, who act like they are naturally that way when no, their life made them that way. You know, it just, I don't know, it's just another element of human nature I can't fucking stand, you know? But yeah, that's all I got for this, I guess.